No parent wants to think about their children growing up without them. Although we realize we can't control their future, we do have the ability to secure it through careful planning. So isn't it time to begin preparing for their future and your dreams for them? When you begin to game plan with life insurance, you're able to focus on what matters most today. Because life isn't about worrying when the storms of life will come. It's about planning on how to dance in the rain. Game plan today. Game plan for life. Contact us today to get started.
You're gonna do for college yet?
No, I don't think so. I'd like to go to Wesleyan like you, but I don't think my parents can afford it.
I bet they can. I qualified for a program and I'm going to TW tuition free.
Really? How is that?
The TWU Pledge. It's a program they offer to local high school students that basically helps with their tuition. You should check it out.
Will do. Can you send me that link?
Yeah.
Don't let anything stand in the way when excellence is within reach. Tennessee Wesleyan University is the best value in higher education for East Tennesseans. Tennessee Wesleyan, where dreams meet affordability.
Batting ninth in right field, number 29, Carter McCollum. And at shortstop, number 2, Charlie Lofton. The Bulldogs are coached by assistant coaches Chris Hatfield, Sean D'Angelo, Jonathan Bird, and Ed Kubatier. Head coach Dave Pritchard. Starting lineup for the Cherokees. Leading off at shortstop, number 12, Luke Lawson. Batting second in center field, number 24, Jacer Arms. Batting third at second base, number 21, Chase McDonald. Hitting cleanup to DH, number 8, Cooper Wilson. Batting fifth at first base, number 25, Jack Gooden. Batting sixth, wearing number 23 at third base, Austin Bugan. Batting seventh and pitching, number 13, Cade Hyde. Batting eighth in right field, number 22, Alex Powers. Batting ninth in left field, number 1, Link Brazell. And catching number 10, Matthew Fletcher. The Cherokees are coached by assistant coaches Adam Ray, Rodney Bill, Dylan Lehman, Justin Barnett, and Grant Brown. Head coach Matt Ray. If everyone will please rise, gentlemen, remove your caps as Reagan Graves presents our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's bright glare, the bombs bursting in the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good evening and welcome to Cherokee Stadium at McMinn County High School in beautiful Athens, Tennessee. Tonight we're going to bring you a district matchup, District 4 4A matchup, actually between the Bearden Bulldogs and the homestanding McMinn County Cherokees. These two teams played a couple of nights ago up in Knoxville, and Bearden came out victorious in that game by a score of 7-3. It was Marshall Goodner getting the start up there, pitched 4.2 innings, gave up 9 hits and 7 runs. Fowler came in and pitched one and a third inning, held him to 1 hit through the time that he pitched. But it was, again, Bearden getting the win on Monday at Bearden, 7-3. So these two teams will go at it again tonight for another district game. We're glad to come to you tonight via Bogus Videography on channels on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, Josh Bogg is here working all our cameras tonight. He's got a great setup. We're going to have a great game. Tonight's game is sponsored by Tennessee Wesleyan University and Grant Farmer at Carter Insurance. Now, I'm usually joined, as you know, those who watch our broadcast and listen in, usually joined by Grant Farmer. He could not be here tonight, so making his debut, I've got Drew Bottoms here. Drew, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you.
So Drew is a senior here at McMinn County High School. And Drew, you've got an interest in pursuing media. But I tell you what, you are really getting close to graduation. What do you got, about a month to go?
Yeah, this is a month.
Is it hard to believe that all this time, 12 years of school, it's come down just a few more weeks to go?
It's crazy.
It's crazy that it can get here so quick. Well, let me walk you through the starting lineup for tonight's game. By the way, it was Reagan Graves who sung the national anthem. Always does a great job, and we've kind of come to know her around here singing the national anthem for football, basketball, and baseball and various other events, and always glad to have her on hand. Well, here's the starting lineups for Bearden tonight. Batting first and playing center field is going to be Finn Piper. He's getting ready to go here. Second baseman batting second will be Boone Piper, I would imagine. That's a couple of brothers there. Pitching tonight for Bearden is going to be Grayson Wright. And batting third. Batting cleanup will be Isaiah Allen. He'll be at first base. Eli Pickard will be at third. Tyler Klein in left field. Jack Fennell is going to be behind the plate. The DH is Hunter Harris. Charlie Lofton actually will be playing shortstop, not batting. Harris will be batting for him as the DH. And then Carter McCallum plays in right field. Pitching tonight is Cade Hyde for the Cherokees, and here's the first pitch, just a little high and outside. The Cherokees starting lineup looking around the infield tonight. First base is Jack Gooden. Second base, Chase McDonald. Luke Lawson at short. Austin Fugit is at third. There's a swinging strike down the middle. In left field, Link Brazell. Center fielder is going to be Jacer Arms. In right field, Alex Powers gets the start, and behind the plate is going to be Matthew Fletcher. So a 1-1 count quickly here. This one's going to be fouled off, and Hyde's going to be ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll be checking in on some Major League scores here in a few minutes, kind of keeping you updated on baseball or really around the nation. We'll talk a little bit about this Bearden team. Here's a curveball that misses outside. Bearden comes into the game at 7-9. They are 2-3 in district play. Now they've had a couple of a few tough games along the way, but they've played Farragut twice, and we know how good they are.
Yeah, they're very good.
Farragut, of course, has hard to believe, but back-to-back state championships. And listen, it's tough to get there one time, let alone 3 years in a row.
Right.
Full count to the hitter. This one right down the middle is going to be hit into the gap over shortstop for a base hit. So Piper is going to be on first with a single, and that's how we kick off this game. High school baseball, 7 innings of game time. Boone Piper, the second baseman, comes to the plate with Finn Piper on first base. Here's the pitch. That one's going to, I think it hit Boone. Maybe just inside, I guess. Maybe his bat. Putting up a strike on the scoreboard, so I guess it bounced off his bat. I thought that it hit him, but it hit his bat, so it's an 0-1 count. Runner on first doesn't have much of a lead at all. We throw over anyway. Cade Hyde getting the start tonight, comes into this game, pitched 12.2 innings, 3-1. Yeah, 3-1 for the year. Another curveball. This one stays inside, runs the count to 1-1. What's his ERA there at the end for Cade Hyde?
Cade Hyde's ERA is a 4.42.
4.42. High school baseball is not too shabby. Pitching out of the stretch now with a runner on first. That one Zings inside, high and inside, up around the chin. Runs the count to 2-1. Fugit playing in just in front of the bag, almost on the grass. Here's another throw over to first. Drew, you typically think of a leadoff hitter who they have on first base. Typically comes with some speed over there. So you got to keep an eye on him. Now he's getting a little better lead over there. Pitch just a little high there. It's going to run the count to 3-1. Grayson Wright awaits on deck. Grayson Wright's going to be pitching tonight. But it's Cade Hyde for the Cherokees. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one stays high as well. And so with the base on balls, it's going to put 2 runners on. Drew in a little bit of trouble early here.
Yeah.
2 men on, no outs. Again, Drew Bottoms joining me tonight, making his debut. Glad to have you, Drew.
It's good to be here.
Yep, glad to have you. Here's the windup. Squares to bunt, but pulls it back. Ball 1, that one stays high as well. So Cade Hyde struggling with the control a little early, mostly missing high. Don't really have much for stats for Bearden. They don't post their stats. Baseball's a little tough to find information on certain teams. Some teams do post it online, some teams do not. That one stays high as well. You might get a visit from the coach here in a second just to calm him down a little bit. It's 2-0, 2 runners on. Leadoff hitter Isaiah Allen waits on deck. Squares to bunt. Stays high, I believe. 3-0. So Hyde in a little bit of a jam here early. We're in the first inning, top of the first. Bearden with 2 runners on, nobody out. 3-0 count on Grayson Wright. That one's a strike. Went around the infield for the Cherokees. In the outfield, left fielder Link Brazell. Center field, Jaser Arms returns to the lineup. Actually, he played Monday against this Bearden team. Alex Powers is in right field. Matthew Fletcher doing the catching tonight. And, of course, Cade Hyde on the mound. 3-1 pitch coming. The wind up in the pitch. Fouled off. Hyde's fought back to a full count. Not a lot of wind here tonight. We always get that bright sunshine over left field. Here's another pitch that's fouled back, so still 3-2. And so we'll have that sunshine here setting over the left field wall for about an hour probably. Kind of a cloudy day in Athens today, but now the sun's popped through pretty good. It's a perfect night for baseball. Maybe a little warm at 79 degrees for first pitch, but not too bad. Here's a ball that's swung on to right field. Powers going back for it. He's under it, makes the catch. The runners are tagging. Now the runner on first has to go back, but Finn Piper makes it down to third base. But it's the first out. Alex Powers doing a good job getting under that ball, then getting it into second base to keep from both runners advancing. Well, now you got an opportunity, Drew, if you can get a ground ball in just the right place, maybe turn 2 right here.
I'm sure that's what Cade's looking for here.
Yep, looking for that ground ball. And we got to watch the runner on first, Boone Piper. Let's see if they get him down to second base. They'd like to get him in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Doesn't go that time, just a little high. Again, Matthew Fletcher's behind the plate, but Cooper Wilson will be hitting tonight. Of course, Cooper injured recently. and hasn't been able to play. He did bat, I think, 1 for 3 at Bearden on Monday. He'll be batting again. Runner goes down. Here is a throw. It's going to be a one-hopper. Runner safe. No chance for a tag there. It's going to go down as a stolen base for Piper. So the Piper boys now at second and third with the stolen base. And it's a 1-1 count on the hitter. Now you got to just focus in on this hitter.
Yep.
Although they could try a squeeze play here. A little early for that maybe. Finn Piper on third, Boone Piper on second base. Here's the windup and pitch by Hyde, straight down the middle, ground it to first base. Jack Gooden's there to get it. He steps on first for one out, but one run will score. Drew, the hitter there, really it's a productive out. He hits it to the right side of the field, and in that case, runner on third is going to score almost every time.
Yep, brings in an RBI.
Yep, RBI on the ground out. Nice job by Gooden, though. We needed the out.
Good job staying in front of it.
Yeah, it was. It was a kind of a tough ball there. He knocked it down, still made the play at first. Boone Piper makes his way to third base now. But there's 2 outs in the inning. Like to keep him right there. If he can wiggle out right here. Eli Pickard's the batter. 5th hitter of the inning. There's a strike right down the middle. Runs the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Drew, I think if we wiggle out right here, the damage is minimal. We're still right where we want to be probably. Wind up in the pitch. Nice curveball, but he doesn't go after it. 2-2 the count. Nice curveball, and he swings through it for the 3rd out of the inning. It's the first strikeout of the night for Cade Hyde. Josh, I think we'll just keep it right here. We'll take a look at the lineup for Bearden. Here's how they're going to stack up in the field, and then we'll go through the McMinn County batting order as well. At first base tonight for Bearden is going to be Isaiah Allen. At second base, it's going to be Boone Piper. Charlie Lofton is not batting, but he is playing shortstop. He's being DH'd for. Eli Pickard will be at third. Tyler Klein handles left field for the Bulldogs. Finn Piper, who we saw on base there a second ago, he's in center field. And then it's Carter McCallum playing right field, Jack Fennell behind the plate. And pitching tonight is going to be Grayson Wright. For the Cherokees, the batting order as they come to bat here in the top of the first inning is going to be Luke Lawson leading off, playing shortstop. Batting second, and really nice to have this guy back into the lineup, Jaser Arms. Drew, what's that batting average as he returns to the lineup? I think he's leading the team.
His batting average is a .474.
So 474. That's a guy you want in the lineup. He'll be batting second tonight. Chase McDonald batting third. Hitting cleanup tonight is going to be Cooper Wilson. Again, coming back from an injury. Good to have him into the batting lineup. He's not going to be catching yet. That may be a couple of weeks or so away, maybe longer. Want to take care of Cooper for sure. But he will be back in the batting order tonight, batting cleanup. Jack Gooden bats 5th. Austin Fugit batting 6th. Cade Hyde pitching and batting 7th. Batting 8th, who just made the put out, Alex Powers in right field. And finally, Link Brazel. Now, Link Brazel is interesting to me because he's batting 9th. But if I look at how productive he's been, 37 at bats, he's batting .324. He's had 12 hits. He's had 4 doubles, and that leads the team. He's also had 12 stolen bases. So even with Brazel batting 9th, it's almost like the starting lineup comes back around at number 9 because he's just been that productive.
Right.
And I don't know, I guess you got every reason to say, yeah, well maybe we need to move him up in the lineup. But when he comes up in the 9th position, you've really almost started your starting lineup all over again because he's been that productive. Well, here's the first pitch against McMinn County. Luke Lawson takes it high and inside for ball 1. Lawson, I think, is leading the team in maybe stolen bases. He's got 12 or 13 stolen bases, which is what you kind of expect from a leadoff hitter. Again, lots of speed there.
He has 12 stolen bases and has 14 runs. So he's leading in runs.
So he's leading in runs. So, and that's big.
Yeah.
I knew he was leading in some category there. That one is a strike. It's low. It's kind of a low curve, but Garen Wright gets the call out there on the pitcher's mound, and the count goes to 1-2. Got to get that run back. Another strike, this time on the outside corner. Luke didn't like the call. But it's the first out of the inning. One down brings up Jaser Arms.
Now batting number 24, Jaser Arms.
Jaser's got a real knack for putting the bat on the ball for sure. Good speed himself. Chase McDonald waits on deck. And here's a ball that's hit to left field, but the left fielder, Tyler Klein's under it. Those hit pretty well there, Drew.
Yeah, he was on it. That's for sure.
Kind of hit just right on the seams there, but the left fielder playing him just right. Makes the easy catch, really. So 2 down, a little too quickly here, 2 down. Chase McDonald comes to bat. Here's a guy absolutely can handle the bat. He can lay down a bunt for you. He can base hit for you. Plays great defense. Really a key player for the Cherokees. One won the count. That one just a tad high. Didn't miss by much. We're in the bottom of the first inning. 2 outs on the Cherokees. They trail Bearden 1-0 here in the first inning. Here's the windup pitch. This one stays way outside. 2-1 the count. Josh Bogus and Bogus Videography handling all the camera work tonight. Here's one that's going to get through the first base and second base hole for a base hit. Thrown in quickly out there by McCullum. But it goes down as a single for Chase McDonald.
Now batting number 8, Cooper.
Going to bring up Cooper Wilson. And Cooper, before the injury, certainly was leading this team in hitting. Also a couple of home runs. Quite a few RBIs, too, there, I think. Drew, you can take a look at that for me.
Yeah, he has 11 RBIs. He also leads the team in home runs and third base hits.
All right.
Hitting triples.
Triples and home runs. This is a guy you want in your batting order.
It's good to see him back.
Hey, boy, you're not kidding. Here's a throw over to first. McDonald's back easily. Isaiah Allen over there at first base for Bearden. They're worried about him heading down to second, and you'd love to see him get into scoring position. He's not stealing this time. There's one that's fouled off. The count, unfortunately, goes to 0-2. Probably going to waste a pitch here. I wouldn't expect to see anything too pretty. Maybe a curveball off the plate. Here's another throw over to first. They're worried about McDonald. Trying to keep him out of scoring position. That is a curveball that comes right over the plate. And it fools Wilson for strike 3 and out 3. So that'll do it for one inning here. And Bearden is leading 1-0. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at Cherokee Stadium, we're starting the top of the second inning. The Cherokees trailing 1-0 here. Terry Patrick, along with Drew Bottoms, bringing you the action. Josh Bogus here handling all the videography work. Cade Hyde on the mound. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be a strike right down the middle to Tyler Klein. They have Tyler Klein, Jack Fennell, Hunter Harris due up this inning for the Bulldogs. There's a swinging strike. Nice curveball there. Drew, you said in between innings there, hopefully Cade will settle in a little bit, and quickly it kind of looks like he has.
It does seem as he got the nerves out of his system.
Here's a fastball. It's going to be fouled down the right field line. That one's going to go forever. Foul ball. So the count's going to remain 0-2. 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up this inning. Here's a curveball. Woo, that didn't miss by much. That one looked like it might have caught the inside corner, but the umpire thought it went around the corner just a little bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's a fastball drilled right at Lawson. He makes a good grab coming up with it, and a great throw over to first. Lawson to Gooden for the first out of the inning. That was a hard hit ball, Drew.
Yeah, it was. It's a good job from Luke getting in front of it.
Yeah, he stayed in front of a hard hit ball there.
Yeah.
It's not always the easiest thing to do. But it's the first out here in the second inning. Got a good one for you. This is a District 4 4A game. This is important. Every district game, as you head, of course, at the end of the year, you head into a district tournament. It determines how you're seeded in that tournament by how well you do during the regular season. So every game in the district's important. And we still got some tough ones ahead of us. We got a 2-game series with Farragut still down the road. In fact, that'll be the next game that we live stream from here. Here is a pitch right down the middle, swinging strike. Count goes to 1-1. Batter's Jack Fennell. He's your catcher tonight. Little curveball, a little too far out. Gets away from Fletcher. I think the umpire said it was 3-1. Scoreboard showing 2 balls. Inside, that's going to be a walk. So the base on balls puts Fennell on deck, brings up the DH, Hunter Harris.
Now batting number 8, Hunter
I
Harris.
just always have to imagine that if you're the designated hitter, you can put the bat on the ball.
Yeah.
Hands running for the Bulldogs, number 26, Noah Reichert.
I'm sure Cade's looking for a double play here.
Got a pinch runner in, Noah Reichert at first base for Fennell, the catcher. Catcher can get a pinch runner by rule. And there goes the runner. He stumbled just a little bit. Here's a pretty good throw down, and they got him. Nice job by Matthew Fletcher. The runner going to second stumbled as he got those first 2 or 3 steps, so I knew they were going to have a shot at him, and Fletcher makes the perfect throw for a put out at second base. So now 2 down. Here's a drive into center field. Arms comes in, makes the catch easily, and that's going to do it for the Bulldogs in the second inning. We're going to keep it right here. Let's check a few scores from around Major League Baseball. A lot of afternoon action today. Now, Drew, I understand you are quite a Braves fan.
Yes.
So let's see. I know that they won today. They played an early game, 12-15.
We won 5-1.
5-1. 5-1 victory over the Athletics. Got some games in progress. In the bottom of the 8th inning, it's the Yankees over the Mariners, 4-2. Bottom of the 8th, the Padres leading Tony Vitello and the Giants, 5-1. Vitello, after going 0-3 against the Yankees, has come back, won 2 games against the Padres. Not looking great that they're going to pull off the sweep there, but at least they got a couple of wins under the belt. The Twins and Royals play later tonight, Guardians and Dodgers. It's the Orioles beat the Rangers this afternoon, 8-3. It's the Pirates by the same score over the Reds, 8-3. Phillies win in extra innings. They go 10 innings to beat the Nationals, 6-5. Rockies also goes 10. A lot of extra inning games today.
Yeah.
The Rockies over the Blue Jays 2-1. Marlins, the final there, over the White Sox 10-0. Another extra inning game. Cardinals take 11 innings to go over the Mets 2-1. Brewers over the Rays 8-2. Astros over the Red Sox 6-4. They're off to a tough start. And the Cubs over the Angels 6-2. And finally, the Diamondbacks over the Tigers 1-0. So still a few games in progress. It's basically a travel day for Major League Baseball, so they'll play a lot of afternoon games, get to the next city wherever they're headed. So here come the Cherokees back up to bat. And it's Jack Gooden leading things off. Gooden, Fugit, and Hyde do up this inning. Powers and Brazil would bat after them. Again, the score 1-0 here. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Got a good one going. Here's a foul ball. Fouled off right back behind us. 1-1 the count. Again, Grayson Wright on the mound tonight for the Bearden Bulldogs. So Gooden, we're asking him to be a leadoff man here. Here's a drive down the right field line, but it is going to carry foul. We can run forever if you could get one down that line. 1-2 the count. Nice curveball that Gooden stayed with. He had to adjust his swing there just to get a piece of it, but he fouls it off. Jack Gooden has some good numbers, I believe.
Yes, he leads the team in RBIs with 13.
Yeah, which is kind of what you expect. He's batted a lot in that 4 position in the cleanup. Tonight he's batting 5th. Count 2-2 to Gooden. The wind-up in the pitch, that one's a little low. It's going to run the count full. 2 strikeouts in the first inning. 2 strikeouts looking, actually, Lawson and Wilson. The wind-up and the full count. Here's a drive over the third baseman's head into left field. It's going to go down as a single for Jack Gooden, so he's on first. Just exactly what you needed from a leadoff hitter.
It's a great hit.
That got out of the infield in a hurry. There was no question about that one.
Number 23, Austin Fugit.
Third baseman Austin Fugit. See if he can move Gooden around, either by base hit or bunt. Third baseman just in front of the bag, maybe just on the grass barely. Fugit not looking to bunt there. Takes a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. It's a 1-0 ball game. Bearden Bulldogs out of Knoxville. West Knoxville. That one's a little outside. Bearden has already played their crosstown rival Farragut. Lost a couple. They lost 4-0, lost 10-0 to Farragut. Could not squeeze a run across. It's 1-1 the count. Throw over to first. Gets behind the first baseman. So Gooden's going to advance to second base. He won't be able to do anything else. But now he's in scoring position with the error. Ball was kind of in the dirt. And the first baseman just could not come up with, especially with Gooden sliding kind of right into the ball and first base. So now a runner in scoring position. A hit in the outfield most likely would score him. Austin Fugit's the hitter. Cade Hyde waits on deck. Be able to help himself out. Squares to bunt, and it's a strike. He leaves that bat in the zone too long. So now it's going to run the count to 1-2. Sunny night here in Athens, 78 degrees. Little bit of wind blowing. Here's a ball that's lifted over the first baseman. He's going to make a run at it, but it's going to be foul. Goes out of the stadium just barely. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Fugett's just hanging around, hanging tough. Trying to put it into play. Anything right now, Drew, what you want to do is hit it to the right side of the infield.
Yes.
And that's going to advance your runner to third. And that's what Fugett was trying to do there. Just got to swing just a little late, put it on the ground over to second. 1-2 the count. Try to do it again, but it has a swinging strike for out number 1. So it's the third strikeout of the night for Grayson Wright, the pitcher. And it's the first out of the inning. Cade Hyde comes up. Alex Powers on deck. 1 out now. But again, Jack Gooden in scoring position, just need a hit. Second baseman kind of playing around the bag back there. Here's a pitch that's fouled off. Thought Hyde was on that pitch, just missed it. Drew, I don't think Wright's throwing with a necessarily a great deal of velocity, but a lot of curveballs and moving it around a little bit. It keeps us off balance.
Yep. Making them have to guess.
Yeah, and that's a bad place to be, having to guess.
Yeah.
That's how I took tests in high school. Did a lot of guessing.
No, that's what I've been doing. I've made it through it so far.
Yeah. Well, 1 more month. You can hang in there. Little wind now blowing from left field to right. 1-1 to count. Here's the windup, and that's got him on the. Yeah, that hit his head. Dead ball. Runner on second can't advance, so Gooden's got to go back to second. But now runners on first with the hit by pitch and second.
Now batting number 22, Alex Powers.
So Alex Powers comes to the plate. Good opportunity here for the Cherokees, maybe grab the lead. Just 1 out in the inning. There's a strike down the middle. It's a pretty good pitch. He may not see another one as good as that in this at bat. Not a big lead by the guys that are on base right now. I don't think they're due really to steal. 1-1 the count now to Powers. Right with the pitch. Curveball stays in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alex was 1 for 3 at Bearden in Monday's game. And with more playing time, Powers just continues to get more and more comfortable out there. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Is it going to get over the shortstop? It does, just barely. And they go to second base with the ball. Everybody's safe everywhere. Everybody advances up. So it's a base hit that it wasn't hit hard, but just hard enough to get over the shortstop's reaching glove as he was headed into center field. But nonetheless, it's a single for Powers.
And just like we were talking about earlier, Link now up to bat.
Link up to
Pretty
bat.
much started your lineup again.
Exactly, and I'm sure a lot of teams are thinking, oh, well, we've got the number 9 hitter up, so let's.
They think it's free.
They think it's a free out here. It is long from that. This guy can hit, and, man, does he have some wheels on him. A lot of options here for the Cherokees. Bases loaded, 1 out. Base hit probably gets a couple for us right here. Wind up in the pitch. That one fouled off of his leg there in the batter's box. Going to be a foul ball. Good crowd here at Cherokee Stadium tonight. April Fool's Day baseball. Josh, we weren't kidding, though. We were really televised at this thing. Here's a pitch. Again, fouled off. This one hits up, I think, his back somehow. As he turned, made the swing, the ball came up, hits him in the back. So 0-2, he's okay. Now you got to be really tough right here.
Looking at to put it in play.
First baseman really playing in. And in strike 3, swinging strike that time. Brazil goes down for the second out of the inning. And so now Lawson comes up in a little bit of a pressure situation here. Bases loaded and 2 outs. He's got to not only put it in play, he's got to find a gap somewhere. Infield is back again now after they were going to try to cut that run down at home plate, but now they can play back as they can get it out anywhere. Luke fouls it off to the right-hand side. So 0-1. Grayson Wright trying to pitch his way out of this thing. That one into dirt. Or in the case of artificial turf, that one into the turf. 1-1 the count. Cherokee baseball field is all real grass and dirt except around home plate. The ring around home plate is artificial. That one's just a tad low. Not a bad pitch, but it did stay low. 2 balls and a strike. Here you got a hitter's count. He's got to come at you right here. Lawson can kind of sit on the pitch, get something he likes. Outside, just a hair. Didn't miss by much, did it, Drew?
No.
You're right there looking at it. 3-1, though, the count. We'll take it. Just off the plate. The wind-up in the pitch. Inside, and they're going to walk in the tying run. Nice job by Lawson just to be patient right there. He's got to at least earn it by throwing it across the plate. Jack Gooden comes all the way around after the initial single and scores. And good news for the Cherokees. Still bases loaded and 2 outs.
Even better news is Jaser Arms.
Jaser Arms, a very good hitter. He flied out to left field in his first at bat. It was a line shot. Just happened to be hit right at the left fielder. Here's where you want to kind of break a game open. Love to see him hit a gapper right here. Here's the pitch. That one's a little low. Ball 2-0 the count. This is your number 2 hitter, Jaser Arms. Chase McDonald waits on deck. It's a good chance right here for the Cherokees to squeeze some more runs over. That one's outside, 3-0. And I see taking a look at the Bearden dugout, and I see their coach kind of walking around nervously with each ball that's pitched. 3-0 pitch. Gets the strike, although it might have been outside. Close enough to get the strike, though, on a 3-0 pitch. 3-1. Arms was taking all the way. He'd be swinging all the way right here if he gets another good pitch. Here it is. That one's high. Misses high, so another run right there. The Bearden coach didn't like that call very much. Comes out to say a little something, but he's going to have to get back in the dugout.
Now batting number 21, Chase McDonald.
Cade Hyde comes around to score. He was hit by a pitch. Comes all the way around. Powers goes to third. Lawson to second. Jaser Arms on the base on balls to first base. Still bases loaded. Chase McDonald, but now the Cherokees have the lead at 2-1. Bottom of the second inning. We got a ways to go here. Always nice working with the lead, though. Here's a pitch that catches the outside corner. Strike one to McDonald. Cooper Wilson awaits on deck. Been a big stick for the Cherokees this season. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Right up the middle. It's going to be bobbled just a little bit by Wright, but throws over to first for the third out of the inning. However, not before. The Cherokees, at the end of two, have taken a 2-1 lead over Bearden. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at Cherokee Stadium, starting the top of the third inning, Bearden coming to bat. Carter McCallum leads off for them. Then they roll back around to the top of the order with Finn Piper and Boone Piper. They did some damage there in the first inning. McCallum's first at bat. Cade Hyde still on the mound here in the top of the third, misses high on the first pitch. Terry Patrick, Drew Bottoms bringing you the play-by-play tonight from Cherokee Stadium. Josh Bogus and Bogus Videography bringing you all the camera work, quality camera work, I might add. Josh, you're covering a lot of baseball this year. A lot of guys. Josh says why he's so tired. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on McCallum. Drew would love to see that first out right here.
Yeah.
So important. This one fouled off. Count's going to remain at 1-2. Gets a little piece of it. Still way ahead right here. Hyde doesn't need to throw anything too pretty, really. Something off the plate. Or under your chin, as that one was. 2-2 the count. Well, it wasn't too pretty.
Yeah.
2-2 the count. A little bit of an earlier start tonight. That one stays high. Now runs the count to 3-2. Usually start games about 7. We're able to get this one in at 6:30. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Just missed inside. Just off the plate. Not exactly how we wanted to start the inning. McCallum on first base, rolls around to the top of the order, Finn Piper. Cherokees again around the infield. Jack Gooden at first, Chase McDonald at second, Luke Lawson at short, Austin Fugit at third base. Matthew Fletcher is handling the catching duties tonight. Here's a throw over to Gooden, a little late. In the outfield, Link Brazell, Jacer Arms, and Alex Powers. Cade Hyde on the mound. Getting a big district start right here. That one stays high. In fact, it gets behind Fletcher. That's going to advance the runner with the pass ball. McCallum will go down to second base. So a tough break there. Fletcher not able to bring that high pitch in. That one did have some velocity to it. Strike right down the middle. Runs the count to 1-1. Drew, you got some plans after school. Again, you got a month to go, class of 2026.
Yep.
Talk about a little bit about your plans after school. You headed down south just a little bit.
Yep. Headed to Cleveland State for sports broadcasting, sports management.
Good deal. So we're glad to have you join us here tonight. Drew making his debut on our broadcast tonight. Drew, you're getting better every inning, man.
Thank you.
Just relax and talk sports. I know Drew Bottoms can talk sports because you're a big sports fan.
Indeed, I am.
2-1 the count on Finn Piper. Runner on second base. Need an out right here. And gets the called strike. Thought that was strike 3. Now it's 2-2. 2-2 the count. That ball was high and inside, but just inside the strike zone enough to get the call. This is your leadoff hitter. So you got to be a little careful here. That's a strike right over the inside corner. That time Popper knew it, but he couldn't do anything about it. Just sit and watched it. Big first out right there now. Boone Popper comes to bat. Drew, we had Oak Ridge in here a couple of weeks ago, and I can tell you, Bearden, they don't strike you in the same way that Oak Ridge, who was ranked 4th in the state when they were here, those guys were big. These guys are not particularly big, maybe other than Grayson Wright, the pitcher who's about to come to bat. He's on deck right now. But they're more really a team that looks to be in line with McMinn County. I mean, they don't have huge guys that are going to take it out of the park. Oak Ridge was like that. Farragut's going to be like that when they roll in here. So we got a good one in front of us here tonight. Just a 2-1 score right now after 2 innings, 2 1/3. 0-1 count. That catches the outside corner. Drew, the umpire's being maybe a tad generous at the moment.
And I'm sure Kate is happy.
Kate is happy with that. 2 strikes. 0-2 on Piper. Now he's got to, man, you get it close, he's got to go after it with 2 strikes. Runner on second. They're being held on there by Luke Lawson. Now he goes away, gets behind the catcher again. Now he's going to go to third. So that one just went through the wicket there. And they lost the ball. It actually went between 2 pads on the wall. I don't know if you can get that, if you're getting that, Josh, or not. It's kind of funny. The ball got behind the catcher, then went between 2 of the pads down there. They lost it for a second. Luckily, he doesn't get another base. I think you, as a catcher, you hold your hand up, and it's kind of like one's getting lost in the ivy at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Yeah.
Hold your hand up so obviously you can't make a play on the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, but now we got a runner on third, McCallum. He's wanting to tie this game up. There's strike 3 on the inside corner. And again, goes down looking. That's 2 strikeouts this inning where the hitters just watched it go over the plate. Now, Grayson Wright is a bigger guy out here that's coming to hit right now, pitching tonight. Good size. Let's see what Hyde has for him. Inside, just a little bit of a breaking ball there. Didn't break that much. Hyde flied out to right field to Powers his last time at bat. There's a strike on the outside corner. You know, after struggling the first inning, it looks like Hyde's kind of settled in, Drew.
Yeah, it seems as his nerves has been knocked out of his system.
Yeah, he's throwing a lot more strikes, that's for sure. Just keep it around there. You got a good group behind you. There's a curveball. It's going to be lined into left field, but the catch is made by Brazil. So the Cherokees sneak out of that one. We're going to keep it right here, I think, Josh. With no damage done, as Wright flies out to left field this time, flied out to right field in his first at bat. When Bearden comes back to bat, they're going to have Isaiah Allen, Eli Pickard, and Tyler Klein due up. The Cherokees are coming to bat here for the bottom of the third, leading this game 2-1. And they'll send up Cooper Wilson, your DH, will bat first. Jack Gooden, Austin Fugit coming up. So, Drew, talked a little bit about Cleveland State. You're going to go into some type of media or broadcasting, and what's kind of piqued your interest in that direction? Just the love of the game, or what?
I've always loved. I mean, my family always talks about whenever I'm playing video games, all I do is sit there and commentate it.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's something that I can actually see myself doing and enjoy doing.
Yep.
I've enjoyed myself there today.
Yeah.
But the love of sports, I can get into any sport that you put in front of me.
Yeah. Well,
I can start telling you about it and go on with it.
Exactly, and I think that's you said it right there. First, you gotta love the game, and you're a guy. I know you know 4 years of football here at McMinn County High School, and a world of experience through Little League, youth football, and everything. But you love the game. You love football, basketball, and baseball. You love it all, and it's just such a joy. If you already enjoy going to games, and now you get to feel like you're a little part of it because you get to talk about it and broadcast it and send it out across the airways. It's kind of it's a pretty good little gig, really. Yeah. Well, I wish you the best, man, and we're going to do all we can to help you, that's for sure. You got a guy right over here, Josh Bogus, who you need to learn all you can from him as well because he knows a lot. It's not all just talking about it. It's everything you see here in the booth of broadcasting it, different camera angles and moving cameras, and there's a lot to it, that's for sure. So here is Wilson up to bat, and he's going to be plunked on the second pitch. So he's going to be hit by pitch and advance to first base. So Jack Gooden comes to play. Jack's had a successful year. What are some of Jack's highlights there, Drew?
He has 11 hits on the season and 13 RBIs. So, looking to bring in Cooper.
Reached on a single in the first inning. Here's a throw over to try and get Cooper Wilson on first. Had a pretty good lead. So Gooden 1-for-1 on the night. He scored a run. Scored one of the 2 runs that McMinn County has. Boy, they're keeping Wilson close there at first. Gooden, Fugit, and Hyde coming up. This is a lineup, really, that can hit up and down the lineup. Again, not necessarily for power, but you look 1 through 9, and you got guys that can hit the baseball.
Yeah.
That keeps you in games. Let's see if they would try to bunt him around into scoring position. Doesn't look like it. So the count now 1-1. Again, Wilson at first. It's 2-1. Cherokees over Bearden here in the bottom of the third. Not much of a lead by Wilson. I don't think he's going. And here's a hit that's going to be fielded by the second baseman. A little pop-up. Just missed it. Just missed it, or that's out in center field.
Now batting number 23.
Pop out to the second baseman for the first out of the inning. Fugit struck out in the second inning. Now with 1 out, you might think a little differently about getting Cooper down to second base. And that's what Bearden is thinking as well. Got a good ball game going for you here at McMinn County High School. Still got time to get out, by the way, just the third inning. Come on out and support these Cherokees. We still got an hour and a half or so of baseball probably. Not even under the lights just yet, although they'll be coming on soon. Sun's still glaring at you there.
Yeah.
I told Drew to bring your sunglasses. in his position, in the press box. Drew's getting the sun from left field. He'll have it for another 45 minutes or so, I guess. Then it might start cooling off a little in here. Out at the old ballpark. 1-1's the count. Still keeping Wilson close at first base. I tell you what I like about this press box. It's right above the concession stand. You get some nice smells wafting up through here. Josh Bogus enjoyed a fried bologna sandwich that they were offering downstairs. Pretty good, huh?
Good. Yeah,
It was a really thick slice, too.
Yeah, well done.
This wasn't this looked like deli bologna.
No complaints.
1-2 the count. I don't think with the injury Wilson's going to go. Here's a fly ball to left field. Left fielder's going to call off the shortstop. That's a nice job by Klein to call Lofton out of the play to avoid any kind of collision. So it's a fly out to left field. Fugate tonight 0 for 2, unfortunately. Now there's 2 down with a runner on first. Cade Hyde was hit by a pitch last inning, but did come around to score. Wilson, a decent lead, not a big lead. Here's the pitch. Off the outside corner. I guess, Drew, what we know is that Cooper Wilson's coming back from an injury.
Yes.
Kind of being careful with him, and I don't think that he'll run because of that. Bearden probably not knowing that. Here's a fly ball into left center field, actually more towards center. And Finn Piper's going to make the play for the 3rd out of the inning. That's going to do it for 3 innings here at Cherokee Stadium. At the end of 3, it's 2-1 Cherokees. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at Cherokee Stadium, we're starting the top of the 4th inning with Bearden coming to bat, trailing in this game 2-1 at the end of 3. Isaiah Allen will lead things off. Eli Pickard on deck. Tyler Klein after him. Still on the mound, Cade Hyde pitching a good game out here tonight. This one's going to be fouled off for a first strike. 0-1 the count. Drew, your mom and dad, Joe and Beth Bottoms, probably going to listen in a little bit tonight, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure
we hope so. If you are, hello to them listening in. For anybody that's watching the game on Facebook, leave us a comment. Let us know you're watching. Say hello. Make a positive comment. Well, we're here for you to serve the community for sure. So just let us know that you're watching. We really appreciate hearing from you. I know Josh Bogus appreciates hearing from you that people are viewing. Here's a ground ball. It's going to be a nice play by Fugate at third base. Throws a perfect strike over to Gooden at first. Well, I thought that was going to get through the hole there between third and short, but Fugate cuts it off for the first out of the inning.
It was a great play.
Great play, and not only the catch, but the throw as well.
Yes. especially after stumbling up there.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to kind of gather himself just a little bit. Eli Pickard struck out in the first inning, back up here in the fourth. One down, though. Fouled off to the right-hand side. Hyde pitching, Matthew Fletcher catching tonight. The windup and the pitch fouled off again. Boy, they're not catching up to him. A lot of foul balls to the right-hand side. 0-2 quickly. The count on Pickard. Fouled off to the right-hand side. One thing you notice, Drew, as he gets more and more into a rhythm, Cade Hyde is right back up on the rubber quickly, the pitching rubber, and he's throwing again.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really getting into a groove. There's a strikeout. So that is going to be the second strikeout tonight for Pickard. Appreciate those that are watching. Nancy Patrick listening in. Kim Womack watching. Archie Wilcox is watching. We appreciate that. Ball one, the count on Tyler Klein. 2 outs now in the inning. Boy, this is really limiting the number of pitches, too, that Hyde's throwing. He can go longer in that respect. That one just a tad high, goes to 2-0. This is number 6 hitter, Tyler Klein. Tyler grounded out to shortstop in the second inning. There's a strike. Near the bottom of the strike zone, but gets the call. 2 balls and a strike. Top of the fourth. Here's a ball that's hit into the air. It's going to go foul. Didn't catch it right off the bat, but fouled off to the right-hand side. And now Hyde's come back. And there you see, Drew, he's ready to go. Even before the batter gets in there, he's working fast. Curveball that is fouled off to the net.
I'm sure that puts the batter in some kind of sense of hurry.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It kind of rushes them as well. They have the option of calling time. Sometimes you just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Now here's an example, though, Klein, who's just kind of hanging around. He's fouled off 3 in a row. That usually means you got your eye on the ball pretty well. Curveball stays inside, and it did. It was just a tad inside, so 3-2 the count. Full count. 2 down. Love to see a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the pitch by Hyde, and he gets him. Throws it on the outside corner. It's a swinging strikeout. 2 strikeouts that inning for Hyde. That's going to do it quickly here in the top of the 4th inning. Josh, I'll keep it right here. Let's look at some baseball scores again. Major League Baseball, of course, played this afternoon. Can you pull that up, Drew?
Yeah.
I'll let you go through those scores. And
Braves beat the Athletics 5-1. Baltimore beat the Texas Rangers 8-3. Pirates beat the Reds 8-3. The Phillies beat Washington in the 10th inning 6-5. Colorado also takes it to the 10th inning to win over the Blue Jays. Miami Marlins beats the White Sox.
Just blanked them, didn't they?
Yeah. Kept them scoreless. St. Louis beats the Mets in the 11th inning. A lot of extra innings being played.
Yeah, a lot.
They won 2-1. Milwaukee wins 8-2 over Tampa. Houston beats Boston 6-4. Chicago beats the Angels 6-2. Diamondbacks beat Detroit 1-0. The Yankees pull it off versus Seattle 5-3. And San Diego pulls it off versus San Francisco 7-1.
So standings, the Braves, of course, you and I are big Braves fans, and a lot of people in this area are. They came into today's game at 3-2, so I think they're going to run their record up to 4-2. What did you say the Marlins did today?
They won today.
They won, so they're going to push to 5-1 then.
Yep.
Braves will be at 4-2. So they're at the top. Obviously, it's early. There's 162 games played in the season. But, hey, I'd rather be at the top early than at the bottom early.
Yeah.
So the Cherokees come to bat here in the bottom of the 4th. Thank you, Drew, for going through those scores for us. We've still got Grayson Wright on the mound for Bearden, who's pitched a good game. I mean, it's a 2-1 ball game. It's a little bit of a pitcher's duel here. The hitter now, Alex Powers, singled in the first inning, made the way all the way to third base before the inning ended. He was all set to score with one more hit. Here's the windup and the pitch. Hit down the third base line. Tough play. Comes up with it over there at third. Throw gets behind the first baseman. Powers is going to go to second base on the aired throw. Nice job by Alex Powers. He puts it into play, makes him make a play. Eli Pickert picked the ball up pretty good, but the throw was just too short. Allen couldn't come up with it at first base. And credit Alex Powers because he never stopped running. The bad throw was right in front of him. He was just able to turn from first, head to second, no problem. So that's a leadoff man at second base.
And he's got some good speed too.
Yeah. Got to officially call that an error, but we'll take getting on base any way we can. Brazil up to bat. He squares to bunt, but fouls it off. So Cherokees would love to push another run across, and they've got a good guy on second base that can get it done. Lots of speed there, a lot of baseball savvy and knowledge as well. Knows how to run the bases. They try to bunt again. It's a good one down. They're going to try to make a throw at third. That gets behind the third baseman, and Powers is going to come around to score. Into second goes Brazil. So the ball was bunted to Wright, the pitcher. He felt like he had a play at third. Maybe he did if it's absolutely perfectly thrown, although Powers was there pretty quickly. But nonetheless, the throw gets behind the third baseman into left field. Powers scores. Brazil goes all the way to second base. So they just flip-flop places there. And I think we got to score that in E1. A couple of errors here. For Bearden, and now Lawson's going to square to bunt. Pulls it back for ball one. So they're putting pressure. Drew, this is the story of putting the ball in play.
Yeah.
If you just put it in play, there's even if it's hit right at somebody, you never know. And that's why you run those out for any young players. When you hit a ball to second base, shortstop, it's fielded. You never know if it's going to be a bad throw or in the dirt, whatever. So always run those plays out, and that's what we're seeing here today. Both those plays, could have been made, but they weren't. So there's a lot of positive things that happen just to put the ball in play versus a strikeout. So runner on second, and there's a balk that's going to put the runner down to third base. Pitcher balked. And it also, I believe, is a ball on the batter, and that's going to bring out a visit from the coach. Drew, things getting away just a little bit for Bearden right now.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, you get base runners on, it really changes the game, especially at any level, but certainly in high school, because it can mess with your mind. You've got a runner on. Pitchers start worrying about the runner.
Yeah.
And looks like we're going to get a pitching change here. So they're going to make some changes, Bearden, and so we'll take a break. We'll sort it all out. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at Cherokee Stadium, Ethan Frederick is now pitching for Bearden. Grayson Wright, who was pitching, has moved to shortstop. And boy, this is Drew, a little different wind-up and delivery here.
Yeah, for sure.
You talked before the game about those submarine-style pitchers, and we're getting one right here, almost throwing underhanded the way he brings it.
Really got to track the ball.
Goes in for a strike. Luke Lawson is your hitter. Already 1 run in. Link Brazell, Alex Powers scored. Link Brazell's at third. Still no outs in the innings. 2 balls and 1 strike to Luke Lawson. That one just missed on the outside corner, 3-1. If he gets down to first with a walk, you can just about count on him being at second base. It's 3-1 Cherokees. And here's one that's fouled off to the right-hand side. Got a good one going here. Bottom of the 4th inning. A little over halfway through tonight. Here's a full count pitch coming to Luke Lawson with nobody out. That one stays low. So Lawson is going to get his second walk of the night here in the 4th. That's going to put runners at the corners. Another good stick coming to bat in Jacer Arms. Again, Arms leading this team, I think, in batting average.
Yes.
What was that again?
474.
474. He leads it in a big way at 474. Now, Lawson at first, good speed. He's got, 12 stolen bases, something like 11, 12 stolen bases?
Yes, 12.
12 stolen bases for Lawson. So here's a guy that can get down to second base and get 2 runners in scoring position. 2 errors started this inning. One by the third baseman, one by the pitcher. Here's a quick throw over to first. Runners back. Also nice to have a lefty up right now. Blocks that view by the catcher down at first base. There's a strike. That one right over the plate. He has pretty good control for a guy that's throwing out of such an awkward delivery. May not be awkward to him. May have thrown like that all his life. Now Lawson a little bit more of a lead, but he gets back standing up. Ball almost gets away. Came out of the first baseman's glove, but it went straight down to the ground. Isaiah Allen over there for Bearden. Now that sun setting over the left field wall. Oh, gets him on an outside pitch. Lawson thought that was going to break up over the strike zone, but it really stayed off the plate just a little. Or rather Arms, not Lawson, sorry. Swinging strikeout for the first out of the inning brings up Chase McDonald. Luke Lawson remains at first base. He's walked twice tonight. Now I think they really got to think about getting him down to second. Pretty good lead. Here's a bunt down the third base line as they're going to do a squeeze play, and he's under the tag. Link Brazell is under the tag, and I guarantee you the Bearden coach didn't like that call. Bearden coach has a few things to say about it. Now walking back to the dugout. It was a close play at home. Brazell has good speed. It was a bang-bang play. Probably could have went either way, but the umpire who's standing right over it calls him safe. So the bunt play works, squeeze play by McDonald, who handles the bat, by the way, really well. Goes down as a single. Lawson is down at second base, but another run is in Brazell. Still only 1 out in the inning. Cooper Wilson up to bat. Ball's off the plate just a little. 1-0 count. Drew, 4-1 ball game now, stretching that lead out a little.
Yep, definitely putting the bat to the ball.
Yep. Making some things happen here. And here's a ground ball that's just foul. Cherokee's playing a little bit of small ball tonight. They've bunted around quite a bit. 3 or 4 bunts that I can think of. And it's been successful. That one stays outside, 2-1 the count. Again, it's a big District 4 4A baseball game tonight. Looking for a district win and a split in the series with Bearden, who got the better of the Cherokees on Monday, 7-3 in Knoxville. Here's the pitch. Stays low. Ethan Frederick on the mound brings a whole different type of delivery that if you're watching you can see. Almost what I call a submarine style pitcher, but a very low delivery, almost an underhand or certainly a sidearm delivery. Here's one that's fouled off outside the stadium to the right field side. Count 3-2, full count. Here's the pitch. Swung through it for strike 3. Good cut right there by Wilson. For the second out of the inning, brings up Jack Gooden. Gooden has been quite the RBI man this year.
Yep, leading the team with 13.
13 RBIs. Cherokees came into this game 10-4, by the way. Bearden at 7-9. Some tough games along the way for both teams. McMinn County, a very successful run down in Florida over spring break. They go 4-0 down there. But they play a very tough district schedule. Bearden, Farragut, Hardin Valley, Oak Ridge. Of course, Farragut right now ranked number 1 in the state. Oak Ridge has been ranked as high as 4, maybe beyond that now. Good pitching there at Oak Ridge we got to see a little dose of. 2-0 the count. That one stays on the corner to run the count to 2-1. 2 down in the inning now. Runners on first and second. Probably takes a little bit off of that pitch right there. Swinging strike 2. So 2-2 the count, 2 down. 2 runs in the inning. A lot of 2s. 4-1 ball game. Cherokee's leading it. The windup and the pitch. That one's staying outside. Drew, I don't know how he gets the ball over the plate. The more I watch his delivery, it just seems out of control. But he's got pretty decent control.
Definitely took a lot of practice.
Yes. Probably thrown like that since Little League.
Probably.
Here's the pitch. That one's outside.
Bases loaded.
And it was definitely outside. Bases loaded, as you said, Drew.
Now batting number 23, Austin Fugit.
Fugit comes to the plate, struck out in the second, flied out to left field in the third inning. Third straight inning he's batted. Second, third, and now here in the fourth. It's a good sign for the Cherokees. That one's outside. Now there's nowhere to put him. Bases loaded. Ball 1, 1-0. Catcher's going to go out. Jack Fennell going to talk to Frederick, try to calm him down just a little bit. Timeout is called. Waiting on deck, Fugit, or rather Hyde. Who's pitched a great game today. So now Fugit steps back in. 1-0 the count. Ball way outside there.
Good play from the catcher.
Yeah, it was. That was almost outside the batter's box.
Yeah.
On the opposite side of Fugit. Kind of made a diving stab at it, came up with it. We saved a run, though. Considering you got Luke Lawson and some good speed at third. That's a strike right over the plate. I think that Fugit might have been taking there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Terry Patrick, Drew Bottoms bringing you all the action tonight. Josh Bogus here alongside. Swinging strike there. Fooled him with a little off-speed pitch right there to go 2-2. Just waiting for that one big hit. We've had the bases loaded a couple times or more tonight, but haven't gotten that big shot in the gap or anything where we could score 2 or maybe 3. That one fouled off. It was a low pitch. Had a play at the plate on a squeeze play that Brazil slides just under the glove of catcher Fennell. That one fouled off. Count remains at 2-2. Fugit battling hard. That really seemed to get this inning going. Frederick trying to wiggle out of the inning. Bases loaded. That one is outside. Going to run the count full. Nowhere to put him again. Runners will be going on the pitch. 3-2, 2 outs. They're all forced, so everybody's going to be running. And there they go. There's a base hit in the gap. It's going to score 1, maybe 2. Here comes the play at the plate. No play. 2 runs in on the single by Austin Fugit. It's going to score Luke Lawson. It's going to score Chase McDonald. 2 more runs pushed across. And Fugit has his first hit of the night. Jack Gooden goes down to second. So runners at first and second here in the 4th inning. Cade Hyde, he's the 9th hitter of the inning. So we've batted all the way around, taking a 6-1 lead. Six to 1 Cherokees. The wind up in the pitch. Inside, he throws really, I was going to say he throws a lot inside, but we've also seen him work the outside. He's really all over the place. Oh, 0-1 the count. Bearden defense has been out here a long time this inning. That one's fouled off his ankle. Cade Hyde again, an opportunity to help himself out with a 6-1 lead already. Could drive in another one with a base hit. Oh, 0-2 the count. Outside. Kind of a weird occurrence in that Bearden's got on black tops and gray pants.
Yeah.
And Cherokees have on their black tops as well. White pants. And here's a ground ball to first baseman. Gets by the first baseman into right field. And there's not going to be a play at the plate. Maybe one at third. No, he's in safely at third. So Gooden comes around to score. And all the way to third goes Cade Hyde, or rather Austin Fugit to third. Hyde will end up at first base. And that goes down as a single. So they batted around. Alex Powers started this inning. And now he's back again.
Entering for the Cherokees, number 5, Bo Barnett.
Bo Barnett running down at first base for Hyde. And they throw over to Barnett's side. He's back safely. Powers batting for the second time this inning. Gets away from the catcher just a little bit. 1-0 the count. And my scorebook's getting messed up as we've batted around. Good problem, though, when it's the Cherokees. Here's a ball that's slammed down the left field line, but going to carry foul. It's hit on the rope by Powers. He's right on the guy.
That was a great contact.
Yeah, hard contact. Runners on the corners again. Cade Hyde at first. Austin Fugit at third. 4 runs already have scored here in the 4th inning for the Cherokees. Boy, they are worried about Barnett down there at first base. And they might ought to be worried about the hitter. 1-1. That one's outside. 2-1. Now you got a hitter's pitch again. Advantage goes to Powers at 2-1. And Barnett could choose to run. Not much of a lead, though. That's low and inside. Now Frederick struggling a little bit out there. 3-1 the count. Sun setting here. It's a beautiful night. Beautiful colors in the sky at Cherokee Stadium. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, a big inning for the Cherokees, who've pushed across 5 runs. This one is popped up. It's going to be called by the left fielder coming in. Klein makes the catch. That's going to be the last out of the inning. But the Cherokees squeeze across 5 runs, and they're leading this game 7-1 now. 7-1 at the end of 4. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at Cherokee Stadium, Bearden coming to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. It's Jack Fennell, Hunter Harris, and Carter McCallum due up for the Bulldogs. Still on the mound, Cade Hyde pitching into the 5th inning now. He's done a great job. Cherokees up 7-1. Drew, a little bit of breathing room now.
Yeah.
Can play just a little bit looser with a 6-run lead.
Yeah.
Kind of relax a little bit, I believe. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's going to be a ground ball hit towards McDonald at second. Makes a nice grab of it over to first. Nice play over there by Chase McDonald for out one of the inning. Ball wasn't hit very hard, and then he had to kind of backhand it there at the last second, but still throws him out, no problem. One down, always good to get the first out of the inning. Here's the windup and the pitch. Curves over the plate, but just a little low. Gets away from Fletcher, the catcher. Same lineup right out here for McMinn right now. Jack Gooden at first, Chase McDonald at second, Luke Lawson at short, Austin Fugit at third, Link Brazell in left, Jacer Arms in center field, Alex Powers in right, Matthew Fletcher behind the plate. Still Cade Hyde pitching into the fifth inning. Hunter Harris, the DH, is up. And I tell you, I noticed, Drew, you probably couldn't see this from your vantage point. The Bearden coach called his entire team out of the dugout onto the field, and he was giving them a little bit of a lesson over there. I think he thought his team might have quit just a little bit during that last inning. They were out there a long time, and I think he had some inspirational words for the whole team, not just the players that were on the field. He gathered everybody up. Here's another ground ball. Takes a nice hop this time for Chase McDonald, and he's over to Gooden for the out at first. So 2 putouts.
I'm sure some of it was him picking their heads up, too. His game ain't over.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You still got quite a bit of game left, really, 3 solid innings. However, their outs are dwindling. They've 2 quick ones here.
Yeah.
Here in the top of the 5th inning. Nice fastball by Hyde right there. McCallum tried to hold back his swing, couldn't do it. Those are those swings you kind of look silly because he's not taking a full swing. Now Hyde maybe overthrowing just a little bit. Kind of pumped up out there. So that one's high. 1-1 count to McCallum. High and inside. It's actually Grayson. Is it Grayson Wright hitting it in the 9 spot? No, 29. 29. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Carter McCallum. Could only see that 9 there for a second, and then I thought I saw 23. My eyes are just a tad better than Josh Bogus. That's not great, is it? That's not saying much. That's why you got all these cameras going. You can magnify everything. Zoom in. Here's a drive into the gap in left field, and that's going to get by the left fielder, Link Brazell. He's going to come up with it. Throw it to shortstop, Luke Lawson. It's going to go down as a double with 2 down for Carter McCallum in probably the hardest ball we've seen hit tonight. That was hit on a rope right there,
Yeah,
Drew.
That was a great hit. Put it exactly where he needed to.
Yeah, it did. And there's good speed out there between Brazell and Arms. It's hard to put one between those 2 guys and have it go all the way to the wall, but that did it. That's how hard it was hit. 2 down. Runner on second. Cade Hyde looking to get out of this inning, but the top of the order is back up. Van Piper. A little high there. Piper is 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and scored in the first inning. Struck out looking in the third. Swinging strike, little ball a little inside. Came in on his hands a little bit, but he went for it. One and 1 the count. Here's the pitch. Fouled back to the net. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Cherokee still leading 7-1. Now getting under the lights here at Cherokee Stadium. Still some daylight, though. Terry Patrick, Drew Bottoms bringing you the action tonight. Big gap between first base and second base. I got to believe that he's now Chase McDonald retreats back. That one's going to get behind the catcher. That's going to go down as a pass ball. It's going to move the runner, Carter McCallum, over to third. So 2-2 the count now. Still ahead of the hitter. This could be the last inning for Hyde. He's pitched 5 innings tonight. Little curveball that's low. Doesn't get the call. Count goes full. Fletcher couldn't find the ball, but it's actually right under him. Had to get some help from Hyde showing him where it was at. And he gets him on the outside corner for strike 3. Piper didn't like it, but it goes down as a strikeout, and that's going to do it for the top of the 5th inning for Bearden. It's a 7-1 ball game. Drew, let's take a final look at some Major League scores again if you want to go through those scores again. By the way, you looked that up, and let's talk just a little bit. We'll switch sports on you a little bit. The NCAA tournament bracket, some exciting March. How's your bracket looking? Terrible?
It got bust out first game.
That's true of just about everybody, I guess. But some exciting games coming up on Saturday. You've got at 6 o'clock in the evening, UConn plays Illinois. And, of course, UConn with that last-second shot to pull it out against Duke in really an unbelievable finish. And then at 8:49, these are scheduled times, Michigan and Arizona play. When that's going to be a matchup. That's 2 number 1 seeds out of those 2 regions. UConn a number 2 seed, Illinois a number 3 seed. We, of course, being ball fans, we know what Michigan's got after that game on Sunday. But some exciting basketball to be played in the ladies' action as well. The ladies' brackets, man alive, it's 4 number 1 seeds. South Carolina, this one is played Friday. South Carolina and UConn, that'll be a heck of a matchup. And then Texas and UCLA. That's some basketball coming at you. But talk to us about what's happening in the major leagues today.
Well, speaking of that, Kansas City just scored a run versus Minnesota in the bottom of the 2nd. So they're up 1-0 on the Twins. Atlanta beat the Athletics 5-1. Baltimore beat the Rangers 8-3. Pirates beat the Reds 8-3. Phillies beat the Nationals in the 10th inning 6-5. Colorado beats the Blue Jays in the 10th inning 2-1. Miami blistered the White Sox 10-0. St. Louis beat the Mets 2-1. Milwaukee beat Tampa Bay 8-2. Astros beat Boston 6-4. Cubs won 6-2 versus the Angels. Diamondbacks beat Detroit 1-0. Yankees beat Seattle 5-3. And San Diego beat San Francisco 7-1.
Got a new pitcher for Bearden here in the bottom of the 5th, and that is Max Adams is in to pitch. I'm going to assume their lineup remains the same everywhere else. This is a sophomore, pretty big kid. Throws it and gets the strike on the outside corner. Is quickly at 0-2. Link Brazil leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Cherokees. Brazil struck out in the 2nd inning. He reached on an error in the 4th inning, came around and scored. Outside, runs the count to 2-2. Again, Max Adams is your pitcher. Wind up in 2-2 pitch. High strike. Brazil swings through it. That's his second strikeout of the game. First strikeout for Max Adams as he enters the game. So Luke Lawson now comes to bat. We roll around to the top of the order. Lawson, Jacer Arms on deck. Chase McDonald would follow him. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's 7-1, Cherokees. Pitcher steps off the plate, or steps off the back of the mound. Little mix-up between he and the catcher, I believe. And that's a brief discussion as catcher Jack Fennell makes his way back to home plate. Luke Lawson struck out in the first, walked in the second inning, also walked in the 4th inning, and scored a run. 0 for 1 officially on the night, but he's been on base twice. That one's high and outside. Really beginning to feel comfortable out here tonight with the sun down, 73 degrees. It's just like the perfect baseball night, really.
Yes.
Nice weather. We always have this discussion about it being so hot during football. So when we start football, it's so hot. And it's almost, spring would even be a better time of year for football.
Yes.
It's not ever going to happen, but it's just weather-wise. You know, you guys now, it's like it's week 8 or 9 before it seems like it starts cooling down in football season. Everybody's wanting it. You know, it's the kind of time of year where you're wanting it to kind of get cool, and Friday nights out there, but it doesn't happen that much. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one's fouled off to the right-hand side. Lawson almost on that one. Hanging tough, though. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Max Adams, sophomore for Bearden, and there's going to be hit by a pitch. He was working ahead, but he throws a curveball that doesn't break, hits Luke Lawson in the back as he tries to bend down below the ball. Couldn't do it. So we have a base runner here. That's three Cherokees that have been hit by pitch tonight. A lot of walks along the way, too. Jacer Arms comes to the plate with 1 out, a man on first. Squares to bunt, doesn't put it down. Pulled that back. He didn't get the strike. He pulled his bat back out, so it goes in as a ball. Here's a hit to center field. Center fielder going back, misplays it. Piper's running back to the wall now. Now he's getting the ball thrown into the shortstop, but it's going to go down as a double, and Lawson's going to advance all the way to third.
It's a great hit.
It's a great hit, and it's one of those kind of a line drive shot that's hit right at you, and you don't know exactly how to play it. He played it wrong.
Yeah.
Kind of went running towards his left and then had to turn all the way around. The ball ends up going back over the right-hand side of his body. Could not make the play. Goes down as a base hit. Was hit hard. So runners on second and third now. Chase McDonald, number 3 hitter, up to bat. There's a shot to the second baseman, but he makes the play. The infield was drawn in. They were trying to cut off any runs. And boy, you can't hit it much harder, but it was right at the second baseman. The good news there, Drew, with the infield in, even though our runners were way off base, he didn't have an opportunity to turn double play. Didn't have anybody covering second or third where our base runners were at. But now 2 out in the inning. But, boy, he squared that thing up. Cooper Wilson struck out in the first, hit by pitch in the third inning. In the fourth, struck out as well. He's due. That one's outside, 2-0. So a hitter's pitch right here. He's got to come to you, Cooper. Cooper Wilson, the DH, been strong for the Cherokees all year until an injury slowed him down just a little. But he's fighting back from that. Wind up in the pitch. Swings through it. Nice cut right there. Two and one the count. Swung on but fouled to the right-hand side into the parking lot. Hope we don't hear a crash out there from a car. 2 and 2. Did you park way out or close by?
I parked close by, but it's right behind us.
Okay. You might be in the danger zone. Maybe not. 2 and 2. It's a 7-1 ball game. Cherokees winning this district game right now, 7-1. Still got some innings to play here. Strikeout on the outside corner. It's going to do it for the inning. Nice job, I'd say, by Max Adams coming in there. But at the end of 5, it's Cherokees 7, Bulldogs 1. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at Cherokee Stadium for the top of the 6th inning. The Bulldogs coming to bat, Bearden Bulldogs. Boone Piper comes to the plate here in the 6th inning. Squares to bunt, lays it down the first base line. That's a great bunt. But Cade Hyde is there quickly and makes the play. That was a great bunt down the first base line, but Hyde was off the mound. Drew so quickly there.
It is a good heads-up play from Cade.
Absolutely. Shows off the good glove there from the pitcher's mound. Threw a strike to Gooden. And by the way, he wasn't that far from me, but he threw it pretty hard. Gooden comes up with the play. Goes down as a ground out to the first baseman and the first out of the inning and a quick out as well. Brings up Grayson Wright, who started this game pitching, moved to shortstop. He flew out to right field in the first inning, flew out to left field in the third. So you got to have these outfielders ready to roll here. 1 out in the inning, 1-1 the count. Kind of crowding the plate a little bit, really on the inside of that batter's box. There's a curveball that's fouled to the right-hand side, and the count goes to 1-2. Cade Hyde pitching now into the 6th inning. He's done a wonderful job. That one just a little too inside. Again, he is right on the edge of that batter's box. His hands are out over the plate. There's a ball that's going to be hit down the right field line. It's going to carry just outside the stadium. Foul ball. So the count is at 2-2. A mostly clear night here in Athens, Tennessee. 72 degrees. It was 79 at game time. Here's a shot into The gap between right and center, nobody's going to get this one. It's played by Powers, now picked up by Arms in center field. And no play at second base. That ball was well struck. Double for Grayson Wright. Well, I'll tell you, after flying out to right field, flying out to left field, you knew he was
due.
He was due to put it down somewhere. And obviously he hits it pretty hard every time.
Yeah.
All 3 times into the outfield. Isaiah Allen, the cleanup hitter. He grounded out to second in the first. In the fourth, grounded out to third base. So 0 for 2 on the night. Only player coming up that wears a snow white helmet. Looks odd. Gets away from the catcher. Runner's going. Here's a throw down to third, but it's going to be late. So the good awareness there by Grayson Wright on second base. It went got just a little ways away from Matthew Fletcher, but far enough that the runner could advance, and he was paying attention. Bearden trying to push another run across. They trail 7-1 here in the top of the 6th. Cade Hyde trying to maybe finish this game out, get a complete game in. If he can survive this inning and another. Coach may have other plans, could bring in a closer. 2 balls and a strike on Isaiah Allen. Again, a big District 4 game right here that the Cherokees need. Here's one that's fouled, almost gets their coach in the third base coaching box. He ducks out of the way just in time, goes all the way out into left field where Link Brazil picks it up, throws it back in. Foul ball, of course. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first base, played well by Gooden, but it's going to push a run across. So Grayson Wright, after doubling, comes all the way around to score. And
it's like coaches coming to talk to Cade.
Yep. And he may be at a pitch count, because it looks like they're going to make a move possibly. Maybe is that Bo Barnett coming out? I think Bo Barnett is coming out, and he may finish this game. But, boy, Yep, that's what's going to happen. So Cade Hyde's going to come out of the game, and he pitched a jewel out there. Probably could have finished this inning, but I think they probably had him on a pitch count. And as soon as the bases were cleared, he's coming out. Bo Barnett's going to warm up. We'll go ahead and take a short break. We'll be back here in just a moment with the rest of the top half of the 6th inning. Back at Cherokee Stadium, it's Bo Barnett that's going to come in and hopefully finish this thing off. Barnett has pitched well this year. He has 22 innings behind him. He's 3-0 Oh, and he gets hit right on his back. It's picked up by Fugit at third, and he throws out. We'll have to check on Bo Barnett, but that's going to do it. One pitch. Barnett gets him out of it. He's walking off, and that's going to do it here for the bottom, or rather the top half of the sixth, with the score McMinn County 7, Bearden 2. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, back at Cherokee Stadium, we will check on Bo Barnett. Hopefully he will be back out to pitch in the seventh inning. That inning ended with a line drive shot right back at him. His body had turned. Drew, it either hit him in, let's say, the derriere or the lower back.
Yeah.
It ricocheted over to Austin Fugit at third. Here's a ground ball by Gooden to third base. He's going to be thrown out as the third baseman rolls over on the infield as after he makes the throw. It's one down. But it ricocheted over to Fugit and actually just perfectly, and Fugit makes a great play to throw out the base runner. But, man, that was a line shot, and we're just going to hope that Bo, he's going to be sore.
Oh, yeah.
It might be tomorrow, but he's going to be sore from that hit. I hope he can come back out and pitch the seventh inning. So Gooden grounds out to third base here in the bottom of the sixth for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Austin Fugit. And we will see if I guess Bo Barnett may be batting.
Yep.
Next. Is that him coming out on deck?
Yep, that's him.
So he's going to be filling the slot of Cade Hyde in the batting order. So first of all, it's a good sign that he's out there.
Yeah.
So he must be intending to come back out. So one down here in the bottom of the sixth inning. We got it. Bearden's down to 3 outs when we come back out. So we got to hold them where they're at. Looking ahead just a little bit, they're going to have their 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up. And we've got a very good pitcher that's going to come out on the mound in Bo Barnett. Here's the windup of the pitch. Again, pitching for Bearden now is Max Adams. And he looked pretty impressive in his first go there in the last inning. Just a sophomore, but a pretty big kid out there. The windup and the pitch, it's high. So Fugit's going to be on base with the base on balls. Fugit on the night. He did single in the fourth inning. He's 1 for 3 on the night. And so Bo Barnett will hit for Cade Hyde, who's out of the game after pitching very impressively for 5+ innings. And Barnett fouls one off immediately. It's a lively third base dugout there for McMinn County. These guys are into the game tonight. It's nice to win. Nice to be winning. They've done a lot of that this year coming into this game at 10-4. They pushed their record to 11-4. Decent lead by Fugit. Not going. Fouled off to the right-hand side again. Oh, and 2 the count on Barnett. Not afraid to swing the bat up there, that's for sure. Fouled a couple off already. Fugit at first base. Adams, the pitcher, takes a look at him. That one's outside. Misplay. Well, the catcher had some comments for the pitcher there, so I think they were a little screwed up on what pitch was coming. Got their signals crossed there just a little bit. They already had one discussion. That one's just a little low, pushes the count to 2-2. Catcher sets up outside. Here's the pitch. And this one's going to be driven to right field. Second baseman going back for it as well. And the right fielder calls him off. And Drew, he had a little trouble there, didn't he?
Almost like he lost it.
Yep, he did at the last second.
Now batting number 22.
Pulled it back in. Goes down as the second out of the inning. A fly ball to right field. A fly out to right field. Alex Powers comes to the plate. He's had a good night. Singled in the first inning. Reached on an error in the fourth inning. Flied out to left field also in the fourth inning. So he led off the inning and ended the fourth inning.
Good stolen base from Fugit.
Oh, and 1 to count on Powers. Got a runner on second now. Got a good lead out there. He's going, no, I thought he broke like he was headed to third, but didn't stop. Had me fooled.
Yeah, got me too.
Yeah, 0-2 the count now on Powers. Pitcher way ahead here. And Powers got to shorten up and hit anything close. And swings through it for the third out. So that's going to do it for the Cherokees in the bottom of the sixth inning. We're 3 outs away from winning this thing. Bo Barnett will be coming out on the mound at the end of 6. Cherokees 7, Bulldogs 2. We'll be back in just a moment. Heading into the top of the 7th inning, again, Cherokees leading 7-2 over Bearden. Want to thank our sponsors tonight, Tennessee Wesleyan University, and also Grant Farmer at Carter Insurance. Drew Bottoms, I want to thank you for joining us. Maybe we still got a lot more baseball to play. I'm hoping we can hold this lead here in the top of the 7th in a 7-2 ball game. But, my friend, you did a great job tonight.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, I have for sure.
Josh Bogus, thank you, man, for all your work tonight and every time we're together and whenever you're together all over the county for different events. We appreciate you. I know, Josh, and I'm going to say this publicly out over the airways, I know we don't say thank you enough to you, but, man, you are important to this community. I say it over and over, I'll just tell you. And here is a ball that looks like it's going to be in foul territory, kind of comes back, and the play is made by Fugit for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Jack Fennell with 1 out here in the inning. That's a good start right there, Drew.
Yes, it is. Almost seemed like he lost it or moved on him last second.
Yeah, the way it was hit, I thought it was going to be foul ball, but those balls seem to make their way back into the stadium sometimes, as that one did. Here's a squibbler that's going to go back to Barnett at pitcher. Tosses it over to first, and we're only 1 out away now. One out away from a big district win. Go ahead, Drew. I'm sorry.
That's another good heads-up play from the pitcher.
Yeah, they've had to field that position tonight
Yeah,
quite a bit. And Barnett had to field it backwards once.
yeah.
Taking a tough lick to the back or backside. 2 down. Brings up Hunter Harris, the DH. Bearden's got a long ways to go here with 2 down and 5 runs behind here in the bottom of the 7th. Cherokees have played well tonight. They took the lead in the bottom of the 2nd inning, 2-1, and then they pushed across 5 in the 4th inning. That was the game changer, running it to 7-1. In the top of the 6th, Bearden pushes 1 run back across to make it 7-2. That's where we're at. 1-1 count now with 2 outs in the bottom, or rather the top of the 7th. Here's a ground ball. It's a squibbler over to Chase McDonald, over to first, and that's going to do it. Cherokees win a big District 4 4A baseball game tonight. Actually a very impressive performance. They get the victory 7-2. Again, I'm going to thank our sponsors, Tennessee Wesleyan University, Grant Farmer at Carter Insurance. Thank Josh Bogus, Bogus Videography. Thank you for sure, Drew Bottoms. We appreciate you. And again, Drew, you did a great job tonight.
Thank you.
First debut, you got that one under your belt now.
Yeah.
You're ready to take on the world, man.
Yep.
So I hope you enjoyed it tonight. Our next game, our next live stream here will be April the 15th, and we have the number 1 team in the state rolling in here, the Farragut Admirals. So you'll absolutely want to join us for that one. It'll be quite a challenge for the Cherokees. We'll see if they're up to that challenge. So that does it here from Cherokee Stadium. Final score again, McMinn County 7, Bearden 2.